I'm ready whenever you guys.
Recording. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of the Tech Show with Daryoush. My name is Daryoush, your host. And tonight, our guests are Kurt Roskopf and Babak. Uh, Tonight, we continue our talk about the Linux and as a desktop replacement for the Windows or Mac and introducing new softwares. But before going to the Linux, I faced with some security issues that I want to talk to you about. I saw a website. Uh, I don't know what to say about that. The person built, who configured this dedicated server claimed it is very secure. And when they provided me access to the server to check the security and install our security software on it and monitor it, the username was the most common name that can be used anywhere. You can see so many times in the IT industry. There was no password, and he claimed the password is the SSL is a security certificate. When I entered the server address and the username and press enter, to my surprise, the certificate was installed and I could log in without any password. What kind of security is that? If anyone can access to this website, to this server, and if someone could access to this website and do whatever on this website, you cannot claim the site has been hacked. This is an insult to the hackers. Such kind of configuration is an insult to anyone, any IT expert. How do you expect you keep your information, your business, and your client's information to be safe under such kind of web servers, under such kind of servers, such dedicated servers? You spend so much for a dedicated server. Dedicated servers are very much more expensive than a shared hosting site. And when someone spends such amount of money, it is usually expected to use the service of experts, not below novice people. Such kind of servers, how many of these servers are running on the internet? Every day, every minute, hundreds of records of people are stolen online. Identities are stolen. Credit card informations are stolen. Everything, private information, private data are stolen. Business information are stolen. And most of them are because of these kind of configurations, these kind of, I don't know what to say. It's far beyond talking about using a secure password. There was no password. I don't know what to say. From one side, companies struggle to fix the security issues of their software, of a software that not so many people are using because they are committed to that number of people. And sometimes people create a website, get a dedicated server, and spend so much, they have so many visitors, provide information like not having a membership and such. I don't know what to say. Please keep your information in order to keep your information safe, in order to keep your data safe, in order to keep your clients safe, in order to keep your business running. Use an expert for this kind of job. When you rent a place, when you get a store, you put security cameras. If it is too big, you hire a security team for the security of your business, for the security of your clients, for the people who come and visit your store. How many people may visit a store in a day? 100, 200, 500? On the cyberspace, a website can have hundreds of thousands of visitors, thousands, millions. I was shocked when I saw such kind of configuration, and partly disappointed. From one side, the website owner thinks that he has hired someone who is expert, but actually he is not. Be careful when you hire someone and try to keep your business running under the supervision of experts, not people who claim things that they don't know. Ask about different people, ask about their clients. When you want to hire someone, even if it is necessary, you go for a background check. Why don't you do it on cyberspace? Anyway, this was an unpleasant experience that I had this week. I wanted to share with you and give a warning to those who own a website and run their business on the internet. Be careful. And continue to talk about Linux. As you know, Linux is an open source operating system. It was created by Mr. Linus Torvalds as an alternative to a Unix operating system. When he created Linux, Unix operating system could not be run on Intel-based computers. It requires specific hardware, specific configuration, and only limited number of expert people could use the Linux. And he created this wonderful operating system. And when he started, some people laughed, some people I do remember, they claimed they had heard about it, but I don't know what is it. Who trusts, what is that? It's not a reliable thing. And now a large number of servers on the internet are running under the Linux. So many private companies are running their servers on Linux. And even there are many experts use Linux as their desktop or as the operating system on their laptop. There are always people who are interested to learn new things, interested to try new operating systems, but do not know what to do, how to do. And if you want to try Linux, what kind of softwares are available, what you can do, what are the alternatives. And in the previous session, we talked about LibreOffice as an alternative for Office for Mac and Microsoft Office. And tonight, Babak is going to talk about another software, a graphic software, which is a cool software for such an operating system. And let's see what he has for us tonight. Babak.
Thank you. Um, Very interesting search, I may say, that took a lot of time for me. Personally, I am so much interested in graphics and video editing applications. When it comes to photo editing, Photoshop and Affinity Photo, which, by the way, is becoming a powerful rival to Photoshop, honestly, are powerful enough and famous for Mac and Windows users. But what if we want to switch to Linux? Sorry. Today, I want to talk about digital photo editing applications for those who are switching to Linux. GIMP is the most famous one among long-time Linux users. It is a cross-platform image editor, which is also available for macOS and Windows operating systems. Despite its professional features, I found GIMP a little bit complicated when working on a saved Photoshop PSD file. For instance, it opens text layers as transparent flat layers, which makes me impossible to work on. Also, personally, I have a hard time coping with its user interface. So I searched for other options, and I found another open source applications called Krita. Krita, as per developers' websites, is a sketching and painting program designed for digital artists. It is a free open source cross-platform application that offers an end-to-end solution for creating digital art files from scratch. This is so interesting. Also, it is stated that Krita is made for sketching and painting purposes. However, I noticed that it handles layers in PSD files much more better than other open source applications. One of the best features of Krita that I found is brush stabilizer. Artists who have shaky hands, I don't call myself artist, but I have shaky hands, at least I can say. We have a hard time in creating digital paintings and working with mouse or pen sometimes. With this option, Krita can add a stabilizer to any brush to smoothen it out. It includes 3 different ways to smooth and stabilize brush strokes, which was so easy to work with. It is quite handy for those who have shaky hands to work with more confidence and create better artworks. Especially other options that Krita have is working on vectors, brushes, and text. With the tools that these applications have provided, these options could really help, and I think it can help creators to create more beautiful artworks. At the end, I must say that both of these applications are completely free and can be downloaded from their websites on Mac, Windows, and Linux, and also can be fetched from official Linux repositories. The user interface that you are seeing is Photoshop on Windows. There's another one. This is Krita that you can see. And you can see different user interface of these applications. Krita is more close, I believe, to Photoshop than GIMP. GIMP was a little bit complicated for me, at least for me. Of course, I have read so many other tweets on Twitter that so many people have difference, but it is so famous. GIMP is so famous among users. So I believe that these applications are so innovative. People, people can create so many beautiful things. So when they come to Linux platform, it's not that they cannot do anything. There are so many options for them. I know we used to work with Mac and Windows, but Linux has a very powerful abilities to work with RAM and CPU. So it is so much easy to handle these kind of applications. Back to you, Daryoush.
Thank you. As you saw, if you want to compare the Linux softwares to Windows or Mac, at the beginning when it is not easy to use and sometimes it is complicated or odd, but if you learn how to use these softwares, you will find features and capabilities that you cannot see them in other softwares like Photoshop or some other softwares. These are the softwares that originally designed for Linux, and memory management of these softwares has been fully optimized for the operating system. So you can handle any size of image very easily, and no matter how big you have loaded a graphic file into the memory, the available free memory of your operating system is too much. And you can easily manage multiple works, multiple tasks on your computer, on the Linux, all work at the same time without any delay, without any pause. And that's one of the cool features of these softwares. And the softwares that have been recently there are different softwares that were originally created for Linux, then they created the Windows or Mac versions of them, or vice versa. Those who have been created for Windows, then they generated the Linux versions. They still have some limitations and restrictions that you see in the Windows operating system. The Mac is different because the core structure of engine of the Mac is Unix, and all these, and Linux is also a clone of Unix, and these, the structure of programming, their programming is very close. Not the same, the programming languages are different. Of course, if you want to use the C or C++, they're very close, but the engine is different because for the Mac, there are another programming languages are available. In Linux, you can create your software with C++ or Python. But in any way, these functionalities and these functionalities provide cool features for you. And if you want to share files with people with different operating systems, these softwares, Krita or is very good, is a good option because there is Linux and Mac version for it available. You can create something, pass it to your colleague, they continue your work or make their changes they want in the Windows or Mac. You can share files easily with each other. So I hope those who, the graphists consider these options and try it. Maybe they find more interesting features in it than the features that we talked about them tonight. And our time is almost over. And usually at the end of the show, Kurt joins us with some interesting points and questions. Kurt?
Well, I just know that Babak has something on an opinion regarding Linux. Do you still have that, Babak?
Yes, I don't want to take your time. You know, it is not that's quite easy to switch to Linux, honestly, I have to say. Linux has changed a lot since the last time that I saw it. It was really hard to work. Now it is so, I'm not going to say so easy, but fortunately, I can say there are so many distributions which makes people much more easier to find better choices. However, it has still some, I think, some issues that I don't know how to solve. For example, for myself, transferring files between the computers are very important. I want it to be fast. on Linux, I couldn't reach more than 500 megabyte per second. On Mac and Windows, both these platforms, it was more than 1 gigabit per second. But for those who, who wants to do that and who wants to make this switch, there are many beautiful choices on Linux. Friendly user interfaces, nice compatibility, and of course, at the end, I don't know this one. I heard one of the developers was talking about bringing an ability to Windows, so it makes Linux users much more easier install Windows applications and games or programs on Linux. When this happens, I have no idea, but it looks like that Windows is changing so many codes. So maybe it is going to happen soon. Sorry to take your time.
No, it's all good stuff. Technology is all about the applied use of tools. And so in that, it's important to select the right tool that's got the best fit. So all good stuff. And the idea of as we're using these tools, applied in a safe way. So Daryoush, thanks for everything that Osgod Security does. And what do you got for buttoning up this show? I think it's been a good one. Very insightful. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to send your questions to questions@aranet.tech. We're always ready to answer your questions. Stay in touch. And if you need any kind of specific kind of information about Linux, feel free to contact us and we will provide you the information that you need. Thank you and stay safe.